Dolly Parton's teenage photo shows a bit too much. Dolly Parton's been a staple in American pop culture for generations. She's known for her charity work, sense of style, and bubbly personality. Although she may seem like an overnight success, Parton actually had to overcome many obstacles to get where she is today. Looking back at old photos of Dolly Parton, it's hard to believe that this young girl would one day become an icon. Becoming an icon is no easy task, because most icons aren't only excellent at their jobs, but also must have a strong enough presence to leave a lasting impression on media history. Becoming one is not simple. It takes a remarkable individual with incredible talent, dedication, and passion to become worthy of worship. You'll learn how Dolly became so kind-hearted and revered throughout the world after seeing her life through a series of never-before-seen young Dolly Parton photographs. If you enjoy Dollywood as much as we do, please share these little-known Dolly facts with all your friends. Avey Lee Owens. Avey Lee Owens was born in a tiny South Carolina town on October 5, 1923. With her mother and preacher father, she grew up praising God. Dolly Parton, like her famous daughter, came from a musical family. Her father played the fiddle and composed his own tunes. Kitty Wells, an American country singer, recorded one of his songs called Singing His Praise. When she was only 15 years old, Owens married her life partner, Robert Lee Parton, in 1939. Robert Lee Parton. The epitome of hard work, according to anybody who knew Robert Lee Parton, was Robert Lee Parton. To assist his family, he worked on farms and construction sites his entire life. He made it to the job every morning, rain or shine, and he'd stagger back home with tired eyes and open arms. His daughters, Dolly and Willa Dean, would alternate rubbing his worn hands with corn silk lotion while washing his weary feet. Bag of oatmeal. On January 19, 1946, in a one-bedroom Sevier County, Tennessee cabin, Avey and Robert Parton became parents to their fourth child. Despite Parton's best efforts to provide for the family, they were always stretched thin financially. In fact, after Dolly's birth, he had to pay the doctor with a bag of oatmeal. Whenever they struggled to make do, the family pulled together instead of apart. Even during their toughest times, the Partons remained united as ever. Cold nights. One can only imagine what it was like growing up in a one-bedroom cabin with 11 other siblings. Dolly Parton often fondly reflects on her humble beginnings. "The children would pee on me every night," said Parton in her 1978 interview. "We slept 3 and 4 to a bed. It was the only warm thing we knew in winter. Being peed on almost felt like a pleasure because it was so cold." Sewing her toes back on. Parton's mother stuck cornmeal onto her toes to soak up the blood when she was just 6 years old. Her father scooped her up off the ground after she jumped over a fence, and her right little toe was on the verge of being cut off. Fortunately, her quick-thinking mother applied cornmeal to her toes to absorb the bleeding. Then, for antiseptic, her father rinsed his daughter's foot with kerosene. Her mother was successful in sewing using the same needle that made their quilts. Ouch is a good way to describe it. Growing up self-sufficient. The Smoky Mountains in Tennessee were the perfect backdrop for the Parton family. They took full advantage of the nutrient-rich landscape and learned how to be self-sufficient from an early age. The family raised chickens and picked local fruit, while also growing beans, corn, potatoes, and turnips. Her father hunted bear, turtle, rabbit, squirrels, and groundhogs for meat. The only things they ever needed to buy from the store were coffee and sugar. Little Tiny Tasseltop. Parton's first song, Little Tiny Tasseltop, was written when she was just 5 years old. Though she couldn't read or write yet, Parton talked and sang about anything and everything. That afternoon, she played with her new corncob doll on the porch and started singing a composed little tune. Her mother was so taken aback by how well it was put together for such a young child that she wrote down the lyrics. Is this the start of something big? A dark cloud. In July 1955, a dark cloud filled the Parton family skies. Larry passed away just 4 days after his birth, leaving everyone stunned. In an E! News interview, Parton recalls the tragedy. "When we were born, my mother used to tell us this one would be our baby. That simply meant you had to take extra care of it. You had to get up at night and rock it back and forth in order to comfort your kid who's died. My child died." Coat of many colors. Temperatures can drop below 20 degrees in the Smoky Mountains during a typical winter. Staying warm during the winter was not simple for the Parton family, who slept on straw mattresses and clothed themselves with salvaged material. However, one of her mother's colorful coats would go on to inspire her to write one of her favorite songs. Coats of Many Colors is more than just a song. It's a tribute to Parton's family and youth. Singing debut. As a youngster, Dolly Parton received her first guitar from her Uncle Bill. She produced music and wrote down her own lyrics shortly after she began. It didn't take long for her to start performing on Knoxville TV. Her charming personality and incredible voice helped her develop a reputation as a hometown celebrity. By the age of 12, she was appearing on Knoxville television, and the next year she was recording with a small label company. Making a name for herself. In her early 20s, Dolly took the plunge and moved to Nashville in order to pursue a music career. In 1964, she abandoned her childhood home in Sevier County and relocated to Nashville, Tennessee. Despite being just 18 years old, Parton was determined to make it work in her new environment. She only spent 1 year with the record label Monument Records as a pop artist before getting signed. Laundromat romance. After moving to Nashville, Dolly Parton began working at Coussier's restaurant. She'd wash her laundry at Wishy Washy, a local laundromat, on the weekends. On a fateful day when Dolly was folding her laundry at the table, she caught sight of a guy. They had no idea this was the start of a relationship that would lead to marriage at the time. Later, they both stated it was love at first sight. "My initial impression of Dolly was that I wanted to marry her," says Carl Dean. "Hello, I'm Dolly." Parton was hesitant to sign with Monument Records because she didn't think it was the right fit for her. It was clear that country music held a special place in her heart. It's no surprise that her first single, Dumb Blonde, became a hit country song immediately. Despite the fact that she didn't write the song, it skyrocketed to number 24 on the charts due to its popularity. Hello, I'm Dolly, her first solo album, was released on September 18, 1967, and it would be her only record with Monument Records. Dreams of her own. When Parton was only 21, she began collaborating with Porter Wagoner, an American country music artist. The dynamic duo won numerous honors throughout their career, helping to propel both of their careers to new heights. Parton helped my father's career revitalize, Deborah Wagoner, Porter's daughter, said of her father's relationship with Parton. However, Parton knew that she was meant to be a solo performer. To say goodbye to their collaboration after 7 years together, Parton wrote "I Will Always Love You" for Wagoner. Movie star. Parton's debut in 1980 via 9 to 5, a comedy including Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, and Dabney Coleman, proved she was a multifaceted talent. Even though Parton didn't have much experience as an actress, comparatively speaking, her excitement radiated through her scenes. And when she had some downtime between the shots, she used it constructively by writing new songs. In fact, one of the tunes became the theme for 9 to 5 and hit number 1 on both pop and country charts. The first Christmas gifts she ever bought. It was one of Parton's childhood ambitions to be able to support her family. When she became successful in the music business as a vocalist and songwriter, she rewarded herself by doing what she loved, being generous. "My father always drove a truck. I gave my father a big blue truck, and he was always so pleased with it," said Parton. Her mother got a new Cadillac from Parton. Even though both of her parents are now deceased, Parton has kept both of their cars as mementos. Dolly Parton's photos show a bit too much. Parton was invited to appear on the cover of Playboy, an iconic men's magazine known for female nudity and sexual material. She agreed to post for Playboy. Dollywood. The natural next step for Parton's amazing career was to open a theme park in 1986, which she did with the Hershend brothers, who had founded Silver Dollar City. Dollywood quickly became one of Tennessee's most popular tourist destinations. Roller coaster rides, shows, a water park, and even a spa are all available at the amusement park. Dollywood was named one of the best amusement parks in the world in 2010 by an industry event held in Orlando, Florida. Carl Dean. Dean and Parton have been married since 1966, but there are only a handful of pictures ever captured of them together. That's because Parton respects Dean's wishes to live a more private life. "They say opposites attract, and it's true," says Parton. "We're completely opposite, but that's what makes it fun." The happy couple have their own homes on their gorgeous Tennessee property, and claim their secret to over 50 years of marriage is spending some time apart. No shame in her game. How does Dolly Parton stay so young and beautiful at 74 years old? A balanced diet and regular exercise do play a role in her daily routine. She freely confesses, however, that she has the assistance of her experienced cosmetic surgery staff. Because I'm in the public eye, I don't mind who knows what I get done. If I see something sagging, dragging, or bagging, I've had it sucked, tucked, or plucked before now, claimed Parton. She's not stopping anytime soon. Even though the average retirement age in the United States is 62 years old, Dolly Parton keeps going strong. In fact, her recent appearance on The Voice might suggest she's busier now than ever before, promoting her new album, Pure and Simple, touring, and giving back to causes like raising over $9 million for Tennessee wildlife victims in 2016. She still finds time for it all.